adjusting?
I think all of the above. I think we were really, had a great intensity about us. I think we played with a little bit more sense of urgency. I mean, that's as they showed in the second half. That's a team that can score some points. When they have veteran guards, they got some real good shooters out there and some bigs that are good rim rollers. But yeah, we got out and we made plays. I don't think we sat back and reacted. We were very proactive, and I think that's probably what I was most happy with. Got our hands on a lot of balls. I haven't seen our deflection numbers, but I guess they're really high.
Have you seen a lot of progress on the defensive side since the Tennessee exhibition? I know you guys haven't played a team quite like Tennessee since then, but have you seen progress?
I mean, I'd say in flashes. I mean, you watched what I watched, so that was certainly a great stretch. It's probably as good a stretch as we've had all year. But then second half we had some letdowns again. So, but we're not going to be perfect. But I'd say by and large, we got out and we got our hands on a lot of balls and got out, especially in the first half, on those shooters that were, we were very leery of. And I think that's probably what I'm most proud of.
What do you make of Drew? I mean, diving for defensively, diving on the sideline and hustling back on that one.
Yeah, no, I think Drew is trying to show that he's improved on that end of the floor, and I think all of us know that he's had some good stretches over the course of his career. I mean, don't forget, he's the one who took that charge in the UCLA game. I mean, that's probably as big a defensive play as we've ever had in the history of the program. So, yeah. I think when he's focused and he's attentive and playing with great energy, then I think he can really help us on that end.
What did you make of Anton's start? He had 10 points in the first half, a few key rebounds, I think 4 steals, 4 assists, kind of did it all tonight.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific in the first half. And I know he banged his knee there in the second half, and then he wasn't quite as good in the second half. But he was really, really terrific. Got us going, made a lot of plays. We left him out there a long stretch when we were cycling guys in and out, and I thought he was really made a big difference.
Could it be kind of an adjustment when he's been a reserve for most of the last 2 years and goes back to the starting lineup? What's the difference there?
I wouldn't think it'd be any. There's at times he started in the past, so I mean he's a veteran guy, so I don't think there's too much that he hasn't seen out there or been a part of. So.
Coach, 6 guys in double figures tonight, 28 points off the turnovers. Is this about what we should expect going forward from your offense?
Look, I mean, I don't think we've had an offensive problem. I guess second half of Tennessee again, but you go back and watch that tape. We went 2 for 11 from free throw line and missed a couple lay-ins, wide open threes. So far, so good, I'd say, on the offensive end. I think we've taken really good care of the ball, which that was something that concerned me going into the game. And I think some of the turnovers tonight were there in that stretch at the end and some offensive fouls. But by and large, I'm really proud of how Nolan's kind of managed the position and taken great care of the ball in these first 3 games. So, I think it's a great sign Malachi's getting more and more comfortable out there and being more assertive. And I thought Hunter was more assertive today also on the offensive end. And then, when we can just slow Big Efton down and get him the ball in there, he's all 3 games he's been very effective at scoring in the post.
You mentioned free throws there in the Tennessee game, 13 of 16 tonight. Obviously, you said you were telling the guys to shoot them and work on it. How pleased are you with the performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's one game. So, I think, clearly this team should be a good free throw shooting team, the way we're all capable of shooting the ball from 3 and everything. So, hopefully we can keep building on that. But that was one of the first things I looked at tonight. So it's a good step one.
You mentioned Malachi and Efton and Hunter's performance off the bench. What can you say about 39 bench points, and what do you think that we can expect from that group moving forward?
Every game takes on its life of its own, but we'd love to get that kind of support from our bench, and in many cases I don't really consider those guys bench guys. They just happen to have to fill in because we got those veteran guys that are starting. So but that, yeah, definitely something it's nice to have when you can bring, and they're all different players and they're clearly different from that starting group, so it's kind of nice to be able to bring that off.
What needs to happen between now and Friday?
A lot. Rest. First, we need to rest. And then, we're playing one of the, toughest programs with probably one of the all-time toughest coaches in the history of the sport. That, year in and year out are going to pound you on the glass offensively and defensively and make you get through screens. And they're, they're just always been, when you play Michigan State, you're going to be in for a real physical battle. So, so we better get our hard hats on and be ready.
Is there anything different in terms of the approach to this game now that it's going to be completely unique of outside, not inside the gym? Anything different with the court?
No, we haven't been there yet, so we'll have to see exactly what it is and what's going on and what the game time conditions are like. So, we're not going to sit here and try to do something, on a Tuesday up here. No, we need to go play and expect a very, very, very physical game. And probably, as Tom always says, the toughest team will win.
Malachi's got a unique offensive game in some ways, doesn't he? The way
Yeah.
you can bounce it and go
Yeah.
through guys a little bit.
Yeah. I think interesting here, he kind of goes around them a lot. I think we're just tapping into, he's shot over 40 from three his whole career, so I think I don't know what he was tonight, 1 for 2. So hopefully we can kind of tap into more of that. But yeah, he's very good at sliding by and getting to his finishes. And he had a good defensive night tonight. I think he's kind of rounding himself into being, somebody we can count on maybe to guard somebody else's better players and stuff. He guarded 1 through 5 tonight almost, I think.
I think Hunter did that too a little bit, 1 through 4 at least.
1 through 4, yeah. They do a nice job of switching. When you switch them, that number 3 takes you in the post, and he was a handful.
Michigan State seems to be kind of a balanced offensive team. They maybe don't have the one guy who's going to average 20 points. What do you just make of their lineup this year? And I know that I think the Hauser kid had 18 tonight, but what do you think of their team this year?
I like I said, it's Michigan State, so they're going to be really tough, really physical. They'll execute their stuff really well. They'll fly the ball up the floor, and then if they don't have anything, they'll pull it out and run. They'll run their stuff really, really tight, and then when that ball goes up on the rim, they are going to get it. So, I could write that script for the last 15 years or 20 years. So,
Coach, you can really tell how much time these guys have spent on the floor together with their chemistry. How much does that help you early in the season, where guys aren't learning how to play with each other, at least totally up and down the roster?
No, I think it's something we're still working on, quite frankly. Because some of these guys are getting Malachi and Efton and everybody on board, and then also some of these guys are having to change their roles, and so they do have different roles. Maybe Anton. Certainly, we're counting on Nolan and Hunter a lot more than we did in the past, and so they've had to adjust. And so, but I think that's something that we need to. We never take it for granted here. We always spend a lot of time working on it.
One more for Coach.
After craziness.
Have you
Yeah,
ever spent
Nick.
any time on an aircraft carrier before?
I never have. No,
What
I've
intrigued
not.
you about that location for a game?
Tom Izzo told me it was outside of a Final Four. It was the greatest event he went to. Coolest thing he's ever done, outside of being part of like a national championship game or something. So I said, all right, okay, I'm in. And again, just what a great way to, in a very, very small way, just honor all our service people that are out there. I think that's going to be extremely powerful. I know it's already powerful for me, but it'll give our guys just a real hit of, what the guys that are really laying it on the line for all of us, so we can have all these freedoms that we're all enjoying and complaining about and all that. So I'm really, really looking forward to that and the effect it's going to have on the guys.
What did you make of that stretch?
That was huge for us, just because a big emphasis, going into this game was, taking away their threes especially. And I feel like during that stretch specifically, we did a good job of contesting all of them, making them tough. and then getting the rebounds and getting out in transition where, I mean, we thrived the most and we had the most fun. And, you know, I feel like that's just a example. You know, I feel like that's something we can look at in a future time and just, you know, see that we can go on a run like that and we can play stifling defense like that.
Drew, how do you think the defense has kind of progressed since the Tennessee game? I know you guys haven't really played a team of that caliber since then, but what have been the biggest strides you guys have made on that end?
I think just getting an experience. I mean, that was our first game, and I think you could obviously tell that because you could practice and take a script all you want, but you don't learn that way, you know, when stuff hits the fan and everything, and like you kind of just have to improvise, and that's something that you only figure out by playing together. And we have multiple new guys who are stepping up, like Coach alluded to earlier. Like, it's just something that takes time for us to figure out, and I think you're seeing us slowly start to like feel out each other more on how to help each other and even communicate better as a team. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I mean, we obviously slowed down a little bit in the second half, but you know, if we can get a complete 40, then I'll be pretty happy.
I think after the last exhibition, Julian said that it was after the practices after the Tennessee game, some of the hardest he'd kind of been a part of at Gonzaga. Can you speak to that? And is that mostly defensive work that you guys were doing this few days?
That was everything under the sun. I mean, if it was anything basketball related, we did it. Those were some grinders for sure.
Drew, people don't talk about your defense near as much as your offense, but you had a couple of hustle plays there, the dive on the sideline, the forced turnover, and the lay-in, and your guy leaped back, and you raced back and got him. How much are you putting out to the defensive end this year? Just it seems like more concentrated for you.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something that people like to have a field day with. But it's something I've been trying to work on, and I want to show just I'm more engaged because quite honestly, I don't think I'm not the best defender, but I don't think I'm a terrible defender like people like to make it out to be. And I think part of that is just my commitment to being focused on defense. I think I can do it, just a matter of just being more engaged off the ball, like diving on the ball more, like making more effort plays. And I think that's something I'm really trying to focus on this year, is just staying locked in the whole time.
How excited are you guys for Friday in the aircraft carrier? Just really getting on it, just getting after it?
I mean, that's something I've been looking forward to since they had announced it. I mean, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, there's only a handful of people that can ever say they played in the game on an aircraft carrier, and I mean, to do it against like a prestigious school like Michigan State and that program, I feel like that's just something that's good for college basketball, and I'm super excited for it.
I think he just aced that one. I would agree with everything he just said.
Guys, going back to the run, you know, to hold a team scoreless for almost 8 minutes, it's five guys working as hard as they can on the defensive end. What leads you guys to that kind of mindset of wanting, you know, to try and shut out a team for an entire half?
I mean, literally, I feel like this week going into this game or the weekend, I feel like our main emphasis was defense and making sure that all of our coverages were right. And, you know, we had a plan A, plan B, plan C, and everybody's on the same page. So to see it all, you know, unfold on the court and you go on a run where, you know, they don't score for 8 minutes, I mean, it feels really good because I mean, we put that work in practice, and I feel like, you know, it all just showed.
And look, I mean, offense is probably not going to be a problem that many times for us. Like, I think we've established that we can put the ball in the basket, and I think that defense could be our Achilles heel eventually. So that's something we're trying to attack head on, and I think Coach has done a great job of really just kind of drilling that in our heads, and I think we're doing a good job of responding to it. And it's something that we're taking good steps in, but we still got a ways to go in that regard.
What you make of Anton's start to the game? He had a pretty quick 10 points, finishes with I think 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. Kind of did it all for you guys. And his first game back in the starting lineup since his sophomore year.
That was not a surprise to me at all. I mean, y'all don't see in practice, but I mean, that's what he does. He's just the ultimate utility guy. You can put him anywhere, any place, and he'll find a way to impact the game without scoring. And obviously, he's doing a way better job of being more aggressive because we need him to be. But I mean, I feel like that's been his game for as long as at least I've known him. And you know, we're just glad that he's healthy and back out there because we need him. He's huge for us.
Julian, what do you make of Hunter, especially tonight? He plays point when Nolan gets a couple of fouls. He's guarding the point guard. He's guarding a four-man. I think he played four in the small ball.
I mean,
and then pretty aggressive. What did you make of his day out there?
I mean, we're asking him to do a lot. I mean, we're asking him to be, a secondary point guard when Nolan's off the floor or Roz not out there either. And we're asking him to be one of our best defenders on the ball, wreak havoc. We're asking him to crash the glass, be a great cutter. So, I mean, we're asking him to do a lot of things. And, I feel like he's doing a great job of attacking that role head on. And, it's something that he's still working on. But, I mean, I'm just proud of how he's handled it, because, I mean, obviously with that many things on your plate, there's times where you're going to make mistakes and there's a lot going on in your head. But, I mean, he's done a great job of just realizing his mistakes and just playing aggressive. And I mean, it's all showing out to great things on the court. So I'm super proud of him.
Guys, after going 2 for 11 on free throws in the Tennessee game, you guys were 13 of 16 tonight. Julian, you were perfect. Drew, you only missed one. Has that been some kind of an emphasis for you guys, or is it just like you're just starting to round into form here at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I was in here after the last exhibition game, and I told you guys that coach was going to make us shoot as many free throws as he wanted us to after practice and on off days. And I mean, he did that, and I mean it makes me happy to see that we're making our free throws because we're going to shoot a lot during the year. We're going to draw a lot of fouls, and I mean it's going to end up being a big part of a big game for us. So I mean, being able to go down there and knock them down with confidence is going to be huge for us.
You guys are seeing steady improvement, like you said, with free throws and defense. What needs to happen now between today and Friday when you take on a tough Michigan State team?
Yeah, I think we just got to amp up our aggression without fouling. I think a big reason why our DER got so high in the second half is we were just so quick to foul. I mean, we're pressuring and we're playing good and we're playing hard, we're moving, but some dumb stuff sometimes, like we're fouling out at 40 feet or whatever. Like, if we clean that up and don't let teams get in the bonus, then we take away their easy points. And then also just continuing to just keep going to the glass every time. I think those are two key aspects that we can really work on, and I kind of think those are two things that can really take us to the next level if we take care of those.
What do you guys know about Michigan State so far? They've got a senior forward who's been there for a while. House, have you know much about his game or anything like that, or have you guys studied that much in film?
I mean, they got my boy Malik over there, great friend of mine. I know he's a stud and everything. I think we played against Hauser's brother at Virginia, I think, and yeah, he's been around for a while. He's a veteran. He does it all for them, and it's going to be a tough challenge. And Michigan State plays hard. I mean, that's a Tom Izzo DNA, and they're very blue collar in how they play. So if we want to just kind of be cute and pretty and everything, then they're going to kick our ass. So we got to come out and not be afraid to get our nose dirty.
Got time for one more?
I asked about Malachi's offensive game. Three ball, transition, slippery, getting in there, strength. How would you describe what he does offensively?
I mean, he just has a knack for scoring. I mean, didn't he average 20 at his old school or somewhere around there? Like, he knows the positions he needs to get in. He just knows how to move without the ball. He knows how to play with the ball. I think he's exactly what we knew we were getting when we got him. He's a player of the year in his conference caliber player. Like, he is that good, and he's learning the system more. He's really getting more comfortable, and you can just see him not thinking as much and just playing, and that's really what I think was the only thing for him. Now he's really getting comfortable, and I think we're really starting to see just how good he really is, and he's going to continue to get for us.